First strike. Commander Elena Torres stood at the viewport of lunar base Artemis, watching Earth gleam like a blue jewel against the void of space. The holographic displays surrounding her workstation showed thousands of commercial vessels moving through cislunar space, a testament to humanity's apparent focus on peaceful trade and exploration. It was all a carefully crafted illusion. Commander, we're detecting quantum disturbances at the edge of the solar system. Lieutenant Park reported, his fingers dancing across the neural interface controls. Pattern matches triumvirate signatures. Torres allowed herself a small smile. After 50 years of watching, the mighty triumvirate had finally decided to make their move. The alliance of three galaxies, the Centaurian Collective, the Andromedan Hierarchy, and the Sagittarian Concord, had spent decades observing Earth's development, convinced they were watching a primitive species stumbling toward the stars. How many ships? Torres asked, already knowing the answer. The triumvirate always followed the same protocol when dealing with potentially disruptive civilizations. 300 capital ships emerging from quantum space, Park confirmed. Their energy signatures suggest Dreadnought-class vessels. They're broadcasting on all frequencies. The main display crackled to life, showing a being that appeared to be made of crystalline structures and flowing energy, a Centaurian High Commander. Its voice resonated through the command center, translated in real time. People of Earth, we are the triumvirate. Your rapid technological advancement has been deemed a threat to galactic stability. Submit to technological regression and oversight, or face immediate extinction. You have one planetary rotation to comply. Torres activated her neural link, connecting directly to Earth's true defense network. Beneath the surface of Mars, inside Jupiter's moons, and hidden in the asteroid belt, humanity's real fleet waited. For 50 years, they had maintained the facade of a struggling young civilization while building something unprecedented. Send our response, Torres ordered. Keep it appropriately primitive. Make them think we're panicking. Earth's official channels erupted with deliberately chaotic and frightened communications, civilian leaders demanding answers, military commands appearing disorganized, and desperate pleas for mercy. The triumvirate ships moved closer, their weapon systems charging. They're deploying their quantum suppression field, Park reported. They think they're cutting off our faster-than-light capabilities. His grin matched Torres's own. Little do they know. Torres opened a secure channel to all of humanity's hidden installations. This is Commander Torres. Operation Trojan Horse is now active. All units, prepare for emergence. The triumvirate fleet spread out in a standard containment pattern, their massive ships forming a sphere around Earth. Their sensors would be showing them exactly what humanity had wanted them to see for decades. Primitive fusion drives, basic shield technology, and weapons that barely scratched the surface of quantum mechanics. They're launching their first strike, Park announced. Kinetic bombardment platforms deploying. Torres watched as the triumvirate ships launched thousands of kinetic projectiles toward Earth's major cities. To any observer, it would appear that humanity's end was imminent, but appearances had always been humanity's greatest weapon. Activate the Mobius network, Torres commanded. Across the solar system, hidden quantum generators spun to life. The kinetic projectiles passed through seemingly empty space and vanished. The triumvirate ship's sensors would show them impacting their targets, but reality told a different story. Quantum mirror shields holding steady, Park reported. Their entire first wave just got redirected into pocket dimensions. They think they've destroyed our major population centers. Torres nodded, watching the triumvirate fleet's formation. They were arranging themselves exactly as predicted, following their millennia-old tactical doctrines. Send the signal to Admiral Chen. Time to show them what humanity has really been working on. Deep within Ganymede, the largest of Jupiter's moons, humanity's true fleet powered up. Led by the Dreadnought Prometheus, 500 ships of a design the triumvirate had never encountered prepared to reveal themselves. Their quantum cores didn't just manipulate space-time, they rewrote its rules. The triumvirate commander is broadcasting again, Park said. They're offering terms of surrender. Decline their generous offer, Torres replied, her voice carrying the weight of 50 years of preparation. Activate the Lazarus Protocol. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden installations began to rise. Asteroid bases revealed themselves as massive shipyards. The dark side of the moon split open to unveil energy cannons that defied conventional physics. Mars's surface rippled as underground factories emerged into the light. The triumvirate fleet's formation wavered for the first time as their sensors registered the impossible. Where their scans had shown primitive infrastructure, now stood the products of 50 years of unrestrained human innovation. Multiple quantum signatures detected in the triumvirate fleet, Park reported. They're charging weapons, real ones this time. Torres opened a channel to all Earth forces. All ships, execute Operation Roundabout. Show them why you don't judge a species by its cover. The battle that followed would be remembered across 3 galaxies as the day everything changed. Humanity's ships, built in secret and tested in dimensional spaces the triumvirate hadn't even discovered, moved with impossible precision. Their weapons didn't just pierce shields. They rewrote the laws of physics around their targets. The triumvirate fleet, for the first time in their 1,000-year history, faced an enemy that had completely outmaneuvered them. Every strategy they deployed met a counter-strategy specifically designed to exploit its weaknesses. Every technology they unveiled was matched by something that shouldn't have existed. As the battle reached its crescendo, Torres broadcast on all frequencies. To the triumvirate fleet, your assumptions about humanity have led you into a trap centuries in the making. You watched us with your advanced sensors and saw exactly what we wanted you to see. You judged us by standards we never intended to meet. Now you have a choice. Retreat and prepare for diplomatic contact as equals, or continue this battle and discover just how many more surprises we've prepared. The triumvirate fleet hung in space, their perfect formation shattered, their certainty broken. Before them stood not the primitive civilization they had come to subjugate, but a force that had transformed deception into an art form. The hidden fleet. Admiral David Chen watched from the bridge of the Prometheus as the triumvirate fleet retreated to a defensive position near Neptune's orbit. The massive dreadnought, hidden within Ganymede for decades, represented everything humanity had achieved while maintaining their carefully crafted mask of technological inferiority. Status report on the triumvirate fleet, Chen ordered, his eyes fixed on the tactical display showing hundreds of quantum signatures reorganizing themselves. They're maintaining position, Admiral, Captain Sarah Rodriguez reported. Their communication channels are alive with encrypted transmissions to their home galaxies. Based on our quantum intercepts, they're requesting reinforcements. Chen allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. The triumvirate's response was exactly what Earth's Strategic Planning Division had predicted. When faced with an unexpected threat, the 3-galaxy alliance always fell back on overwhelming force. Perfect, Chen said. Time to show them why that won't help. Execute Phase 2. Throughout the solar system, more of humanity's hidden installations began to activate. The ice sheets of Europa cracked open, revealing sprawling shipyards. Titan's atmosphere shimmered as cloaking fields dropped, exposing massive energy collectors that had been gathering Saturn's radiation for decades. Sir, Rodriguez called out, the triumvirate is scanning our installations. Their quantum sensors are trying to penetrate our defensive screens. Let them look, Chen replied. Operation Ghost Veil is complete. They'll see exactly what we want them to see. The Prometheus's bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, their neural interfaces connecting them directly to the ship's quantum systems. Unlike the primitive neural links the triumvirate had observed humans using, these were capable of processing information at speeds that bordered on precognition. Admiral, the ship's AI, Atlas, manifested as a holographic presence. The Helios array is ready for activation. Shall I begin the sequence? Chen nodded. The Helios Array had been humanity's most ambitious project, a network of artificial stars created within pocket dimensions, providing virtually unlimited energy to Earth's true fleet. Its existence would have been impossible to hide from conventional scans, which was exactly why humanity had built it in spaces that didn't technically exist. Receiving transmission from Lunar Command, Rodriguez announced. Commander Torres reports all Earth defense systems are functioning at optimal levels. The Triumvirate's initial attack caused 0 casualties. Open channel to all Earth forces, Chen ordered. The holographic display expanded, showing the faces of every fleet commander. The time for hiding is over. For 50 years, we've let them think we were struggling with basic quantum mechanics while we built something unprecedented. Today, we show them the true face of human innovation. The Prometheus's engines ignited, but not with the fusion drives the Triumvirate would have expected. Instead, the massive ship moved through spacetime itself, its quantum wake distorting reality in ways that violated what the 3 galaxies considered possible. Multiple quantum signatures detected, Rodriguez reported. The Triumvirate reinforcements are arriving. Current count, 3,000 ships. Chen smiled. Deploy the Phantom Fleet. From dimensional pockets scattered throughout the solar system, more of Earth's ships emerged. Each one represented a different approach to physics, a different way of thinking about what was possible. Where the Triumvirate had built their civilization on careful, controlled advancement, humanity had embraced chaos and creativity. Sir, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the Triumvirate fleet, Atlas reported. They appear to be preparing to deploy their primary weapon system, the Galaxy Hammer. The Galaxy Hammer was the Triumvirate's ultimate weapon, capable of destroying entire star systems by creating artificial supernovas. It was their guarantee of victory, used only when a species proved too troublesome to control. Right on schedule, Chen said. All ships, initiate Dant Protocol. As the Triumvirate fleet's energy readings reached critical levels, humanity's true defensive capabilities revealed themselves. The space around Earth rippled as thousands of quantum field generators activated simultaneously, creating a network of interlocking dimensional barriers. Triumvirate fleet is firing the Galaxy Hammer, Rodriguez announced, her voice steadied despite the enormity of the moment. The weapon's energy beam, capable of igniting a star's core, struck Earth's defensive network. For a moment, the space around the solar system seemed to fold in on itself. Then, impossibly, the beam vanished. Status of the Dante Protocol, Chen asked. Atlas's holographic form pulsed with data. 100% successful. Admiral, the Galaxy Hammer's energy has been redirected into our collector network. Power reserves are now at maximum capacity. Chen opened a channel to the Triumvirate fleet. Your most powerful weapon just became our power source. Perhaps now you'll understand why judging a species by their apparent capabilities is a dangerous mistake. The Triumvirate's response came in the form of a massive fleet-wide advance. 3,000 of the most powerful ships from 3 galaxies moved to engage Earth's forces. Their formation was perfect, their coordination flawless, the result of millennia of military doctrine. All ships, Chen commanded, show them what happens when you let imagination drive innovation. Execute Operation Wildcard. Earth's fleet moved in ways that defied conventional tactics. Ships phased through each other, split into multiple copies, and traveled through dimensions the Triumvirate hadn't discovered. Each vessel operated independently yet part of a greater whole, their actions coordinated by quantum-linked AIs that processed strategies faster than thought. The battle that followed would rewrite military doctrine across 3 galaxies. The Triumvirate's perfectly coordinated fleet found itself facing an enemy that turned chaos into an art form. Traditional formation-based tactics proved useless against ships that could literally rewrite the space they occupied. Counterattack. Dr. Maya Patel stood before the quantum interface in her laboratory deep within Mercury's core, monitoring the battle through streams of multidimensional data. As Earth's lead quantum physicist, she had spent decades developing technologies that the triumvirate had dismissed as theoretical impossibilities. "Analysis complete," announced Araya, her quantum-enhanced AI assistant. "The triumvirate fleet's adaptive algorithms are attempting to predict our ship's movement patterns. They're still operating on the assumption that our technology follows conventional physics." Maya smiled as she watched the data flows. "That's their fundamental mistake. They built their civilization on predictability. We built ours on breaking rules they never questioned." Her neural interface pulsed with an incoming transmission from Admiral Chen's flagship. "Dr. Patel, the triumvirate fleet is falling back to their designated rally points in each home galaxy. Time to show them Phase 3. "Understood, Admiral. Initiating the quantum web now." Maya's fingers danced across the holographic controls as she activated the project she'd spent 20 years perfecting. Across the solar system, hidden quantum nodes activated. These weren't the primitive quantum communication devices the triumvirate had observed humans testing. These were something entirely new technology that treated space-time itself as a programmable medium. "Araya, begin the sequence," Maya commanded. "Let's show them what happens when you let humanity think outside conventional physics." The quantum nodes pulsed in perfect synchronization, creating a web of interconnected fields that spread throughout the solar system. To the triumvirate sensors, it would appear as random energy fluctuations, the death throes of a defeated civilization's technology. They couldn't have been more wrong. "Quantum web at full power," Araya reported, "ready to execute Operation Leapfrog." Maya opened a channel to all Earth Fleet commanders. "This is Dr. Patel. The quantum web is ready. Remember, once we begin, there's no going back. The laws of physics as the triumvirate understands them are about to become optional." Admiral Chen's voice came through clear and confident. "All ships, prepare for dimensional shift. Dr. Patel, show us what impossible looks like." Maya initiated the final sequence. The quantum web flared to life, not just connecting points in space, but rewriting the underlying fabric of reality. Earth's fleet, already extraordinary by triumvirate standards, was about to become something else entirely. "Quantum web stable," Araya announced. "Reality transformation beginning in 3, 2, 1. The effect was beautiful and terrifying. Earth's ships seemed to blur, their forms becoming fluid as they adapted to the new physics Maya had created. The triumvirate sensors would be going crazy, trying to make sense of ships that could now ignore fundamental constants of the universe. "All ships reporting successful transformation," Araya confirmed. "They're ready for trans-galactic jump." Maya nodded, her heart racing with anticipation. "Execute Operation Leapfrog. Show them why you don't underestimate human creativity." Earth's fleet vanished, not through conventional FTL travel, but by simply choosing to exist somewhere else. The quantum web had turned space itself into a medium that could be manipulated at will. In the Andromeda Galaxy, around the triumvirate's primary military installation, space rippled as Earth's ships materialized. But they weren't just appearing. They were bringing their own physics with them. "First strike successful," Araya reported, processing data from the fleet. "The triumvirate's defensive systems aren't even registering our ships as real objects. Their weapons are passing right through our hulls without effect." Maya watched through the quantum feed as humanity's ships engaged the triumvirate's home fleet. It was barely a battle, more like a demonstration of what happens when one side simply decides that conventional rules don't apply. "Dr. Patel," Admiral Chen's voice came through. "The Centaurian Collective's primary defense fleet just tried to destroy the Prometheus with their quantum disruptors. Would you like to explain to them why that's not working?" Maya opened a channel to the Triumvirate Command. "Your weapons are designed to disrupt quantum fields that follow your understanding of physics. We decided to try something different. Those aren't ships you're fighting. They're localized regions where reality follows our rules instead of yours." The Triumvirate's response was predictable. They launched their entire reserve fleet, 10,000 ships strong, carrying weapons that could destroy solar systems. Under normal circumstances, it would have been an overwhelming force. But circumstances had stopped being normal the moment humanity decided to rewrite physics itself. RIA, initiate Phase 2 of the quantum web, Maya commanded. Let's show them what happens when you push human innovation too far. The web pulsed again, and reality rippled across 3 galaxies. Earth's ships didn't just ignore the laws of physics. They began actively rewriting them in their wake. Triumvirate weapons found themselves firing in universes where their fundamental principles didn't work. Their shields tried to resist forces that their generators couldn't recognize as real. Multiple quantum signatures detected, ARIA reported. The Sagittarian Concord is attempting to deploy their temporal weapons. Maya actually laughed at that. Let them try. Hard to change the past when we're not even operating in the same timeline anymore. The battle, if it could still be called that, spread across 3 galaxies simultaneously. Earth's fleet, enhanced by the quantum web, demonstrated why letting humanity develop in secret had been the Triumvirate's greatest mistake. Where Triumvirate ships relied on carefully calculated maneuvers, Earth's vessels danced through dimensions. Where their weapons tried to disrupt normal spacetime, they found themselves affecting nothing because their targets had simply chosen to exist in spaces where those weapons' underlying principles didn't apply. Dr. Admiral Chen's voice carried a note of satisfaction. I believe the Triumvirate is starting to understand their mistake. Their flagship is broadcasting on all frequencies, requesting a cessation of hostilities. Maya checked the quantum readings. The Triumvirate's fleet was in disarray, their perfect formation shattered by an enemy that didn't just think outside the box, but had decided the box shouldn't exist in the first place. Let them know, Maya replied, that we're happy to discuss terms. But first, they need to understand something fundamental about humanity. We don't just adapt to the rules. We change them when they don't suit us. The Great Deception. Director Marcus Zhang stood in the holographic war room beneath the Himalayan mountains, surrounded by the architects of humanity's greatest deception. For 50 years, he had led the Strategic Misdirection Division, orchestrating a performance that had fooled 3 galaxies' worth of advanced civilizations. Display Operation Looking Glass Timeline, he commanded. The air filled with a 3-dimensional representation of the last 5 decades, showing thousands of carefully orchestrated failures and primitive attempts at advanced technology. The Triumvirate's diplomatic delegation will arrive in 10 minutes, his AI assistant reported. They're still trying to scan our facility. Let them, John replied. The quantum shroud is showing them exactly what they expect to see. A primitive bunker with barely functional technology. He turned to address the assembled leaders of Earth's hidden programs. Time to reveal how we fooled the most advanced civilizations in 3 galaxies. The holographic display shifted, showing the true scope of humanity's achievement. While the Triumvirate watched Earth's apparent struggles with basic quantum mechanics, humanity had been operating on levels that made their observers' technology look primitive. Director, a voice called from the quantum communications array. Admiral Chen reports the Triumvirate delegation has entered the solar system. Their sensors are actively probing our defenses. Zhang nodded. Begin dropping the veils. Layer by layer, let them see what they've been missing. Across Earth and throughout the solar system, humanity's false front began to dissolve. The primitive fusion reactors revealed themselves as quantum energy matrices, simple neural interfaces transformed into direct consciousness to quantum links. Every piece of technology the Triumvirate had observed and dismissed as primitive was revealed as a carefully crafted facade. Their flagship has entered Earth orbit, the communications officer reported. Their sensors. Director, their sensors are going crazy. Zhang smiled. Show them everything. Let them understand exactly what they've been looking at for the past 50 years. The holographic display updated with the Triumvirate ship's sensor data. Their advanced systems were finally seeing past humanity's deceptions, and the results were causing chaos in their fleet. Where they had seen primitive satellites, there were actually quantum communication nodes. The simple defense platforms they had dismissed were revealed as dimensional anchor points capable of rewriting local physics. "Director," his AI assistant announced, "the triumvirate delegation is requesting immediate landing clearance. Their message indicates urgent confusion." "Granted," John ordered. "Prepare the real conference room. Time to explain to our guests how thoroughly they underestimated human ingenuity." The triumvirate delegation, representatives from each of the 3 galaxies, was escorted into a facility that defied their understanding of technology. The crystalline Centaurian, energy-based Andromedan, and biomechanical Sagittarian delegates found themselves in a room where reality itself seemed optional. "Welcome to Earth," John greeted them. Or more accurately, welcome to the real Earth, the one we've kept hidden from your surveillance for the past 50 years. The Andromedan delegate, a being of pure energy contained within a field of quantum forces, spoke first. "Impossible. Our monitoring systems are infallible. We saw your development, tracked your progress." "You saw what we wanted you to see," John corrected, activating the holographic display. Every failure, every primitive attempt, every seemingly desperate grasp at advanced technology, all carefully choreographed performances. The display showed thousands of seemingly failed experiments, botched attempts at quantum technology, and crude spacecraft designs. Then it showed the truth behind each one, how humanity had used these apparent failures to mask their real achievements. "While you watched us struggle with basic quantum mechanics," Zhang explained, "we were developing technology that treated quantum uncertainty as a programming language. When you saw us failing to achieve stable AI, we were actually creating consciousness that existed across multiple dimensions." The Sagittarian delegate, its biomechanical form shifting with agitation, interrupted. "But our observers, our deep cover agents, were shown exactly what we wanted them to see," Zhang completed the thought. "Every piece of technology they examined was real, just not in the way they thought. Those primitive fusion reactors, the radiation signatures your sensors detected were actually bleed-off from quantum cores operating in parallel dimensions. Those neural interfaces you dismissed as crude, they were operating on levels your science hasn't discovered yet." The holographic display shifted again, showing the true extent of Earth's technological achievement. Hidden cities in dimensional pockets, ships that treated the laws of physics as polite suggestions rather than rules, energy systems that didn't just harness quantum effects, but actively rewrote them. "But why?" the Centaurian delegate demanded, its crystalline form resonating with confusion. "Why maintain this deception?" Zhang's expression turned serious. "Because you gave us no choice. Your first contact protocols made it clear. Any civilization that advanced too quickly would be deemed a threat and forcibly regressed. So we advanced in secret, hiding our true progress behind a carefully maintained mask of primitive struggle." The delegates watched in stunned silence as Zhang revealed how humanity had turned the triumvirate's own assumptions against them. Every assessment, every analysis, every conclusion they had drawn about Earth's capabilities had been carefully manipulated. "Your civilizations advanced through careful, controlled steps," Zhang explained, "each discovery building logically on the last, each technology developing in a predictable sequence. But humans? We don't think that way. We jump ahead, make intuitive leaps, find connections where none should exist." The display showed the true timeline of human advancement, not the careful, plodding progress the triumvirate had observed, but a chaotic, brilliant explosion of innovation and creativity that had bypassed entire stages of what they considered necessary development. Victory among the stars, high above the galactic plane, where the light of 3 galaxies painted space in swirling colors, the combined fleets of humanity, and the triumvirate gathered for an unprecedented event. The signing of the Stellar Concordat would mark the first time in galactic history that a primitive species had forced the 3 most powerful civilizations to acknowledge them as equals. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, now transformed into a neutral meeting ground where the laws of physics from all participating species were equally valid. Around his ship, 10,000 vessels from 4 different civilizations hung in space, their presence a testament to how much had changed in the past week. Final diplomatic parties are arriving now, Commander Torres reported from her station. She had been promoted after her masterful handling of the initial conflict. The triumvirate representatives seem unsettled by our choice of venue. Chen smiled. The space around the Prometheus existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously, a demonstration of humanity's mastery over reality itself. To the triumvirate, it was like holding a peace conference in the middle of a physics experiment that shouldn't be possible. Dr. Paddle reports the quantum matrices are stable. Torres continued. We can begin whenever you're ready, Admiral. The main conference chamber had been specially designed for this moment. As representatives from all 4 civilizations entered, they found themselves in a space where their native physics seamlessly integrated with everyone else's. It was a physical manifestation of the cooperation they were about to forge. Director Zhang took his place at the human delegations table, facing the leaders of civilizations that had, until recently, viewed his species as barely worth monitoring. The Centaurian High Lord's crystalline form sparkled with internal light. The Andromedan Premier's energy form pulsed with carefully controlled power, and the Sagittarian Archon's biomechanical body shifted with subtle movements. Before we begin, Zhang addressed the gathering. I believe we owe you one final revelation, a demonstration of why underestimating humanity was your greatest mistake, and why working with us will be your greatest opportunity. He nodded to Dr. Patel, who activated a quantum link to Earth. The holographic display expanded, showing not just their local space, but the entirety of 3 galaxies simultaneously. And then, one by one, hidden human installations began to appear. While you watched Earth, Zhang explained, believing you were containing a primitive species to a single solar system, we were already among the stars. Every failed colony you observed, a cover for our real settlements. Those crude exploration ships you dismissed, each one carried the seeds of something far greater. The display showed hundreds of hidden human outposts, research stations, and shipyards scattered across all 3 galaxies. Each one had been disguised as a natural phenomenon, a cosmic accident, or simply hidden in dimensions the triumvirate hadn't known to check. The Andromedan Premier's energy form fluctuated with shock. Impossible. Our quantum surveys detected exactly what we wanted them to detect. Paddle interrupted, stepping forward. While you were watching us struggle with basic quantum mechanics, we were rewriting the fundamental laws of reality. Every time you saw us fail, we were actually succeeding on levels you hadn't imagined possible. Admiral Chen activated another display, showing the true extent of human military capability. Your civilizations built upward, each advancement following logically from the last. We built sideways, finding connections and possibilities you never considered because they didn't fit your orderly view of progress. The Sagittarian Archon's biomechanical form shifted in what might have been admiration. You could have struck at any time. Why reveal yourselves now? Because the galaxy is changing, Chen answered. We've detected something approaching from intergalactic space, something that will challenge all of us. We could have remained hidden, let you face it alone, but that's not who we are. The display shifted again, showing long-range sensor data that humanity's quantum arrays had gathered. Massive objects, moving between the galaxies, defying known physics in ways that even humanity's scientists found troubling. We chose this moment to reveal ourselves, Zhang continued, because the greatest threat to civilization isn't rapid advancement or unconventional thinking. It's the inability to adapt, to embrace new ideas, to accept that the impossible might simply be the unexplored. He gestured to the stellar concordat displayed before them. This agreement doesn't just recognize humanity as equals. It redefines how our civilizations will interact. We offer you our creativity, our ability to think beyond established limits. In return, we ask for true partnership in facing what comes next. The Centaurian High Lord's crystalline form resonated with decision. We accept these terms. The triumvirate was founded to maintain order among the stars. Perhaps it is time for order to make room for innovation. As the leaders of 4 civilizations signed the historic agreement, Chen looked out at the assembled fleets. Humanity's ships, no longer hiding their true nature, displayed technology that bordered on the magical. The triumvirate vessels, once symbols of overwhelming power, now seemed almost conventional in comparison. "Begin transmission to all ships," Chen ordered. "Let every species in 3 galaxies hear this message. Today marks the end of isolation and the beginning of true cooperation. Humanity doesn't just break boundaries. We prove they never existed in the first place. Together, we'll face whatever comes next from beyond the galactic rim." The quantum arrays activated, broadcasting his words across 3 galaxies simultaneously. In hidden colonies and open stations, on planets, and in deep space, humans emerged from their careful disguises, ready to share their innovations with their new allies. The age of deception was over. The age of human innovation had begun. And somewhere in the dark spaces between galaxies, something was moving. Something that would test this new alliance in ways none of them could imagine. But this time, they would face it together, with humanity's boundless creativity leading the way into an uncertain future.